If one side of your face is like this and the other side's like that, it's not as attractive. And so if you walk up to a woman with lots of confidence and say, hey baby, I'm very confident, you're not getting laid.
I thought this guy was at least a little bit more sensible. Gilbert Godfrey on Anavar over here.
I mean, all I'm pointing out is what he's saying. If you guys want to shit on me and Myron, go ahead. But your hero that's doing this is doing the exact same thing. Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm reacting to Hasanabi Productions, who's reacting to Coach Greg and Myron saying that obesity isn't a choice. That if you're obese, it's not your fault. We should feel bad for you. Boo-hoo. He's going to make fun of me, put me down, insult me, attack my character. All because I give you an actual opinion, my true, authentic opinion on the fact that obesity is in fact a choice, and that I feel disgusted when looking at people who weigh 600 pounds. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And so just because I have these emotions and I admit to them, well, that makes me a bad person. Because I'm not virtue signaling, I'm not pretending that it doesn't happen. And so because I have the balls and Myron has the balls to say what we actually think, we get hated on, shit on. You're a bad person. And so people, they're professional victims, they're crybabies, they're lazy, they don't have the testicular fortitude to stick to losing weight, and they want us to feel sorry for them. It's not your fault. You have PCOS. Nothing you could do about it. It's impossible to lose weight. So let's get into the video and see what comes up.
I thought this guy was at least a little bit more sensible. Gilbert Godfrey on Anavar over here.
You know, and I thought this guy, he's talking about Coach Greg, thought this Gilbert Godfrey on Anavar would be more sensible. Not on Anavar.
I don't have an opinion on Greg beyond the fact that he's a funny meme. But the fact that he's over here laughing at this dumb Myron actually is like kind of...
I'm a dumb meme now? Really? A dumb meme? Last I checked, I have 2+ million followers. You have 200-something thousand followers. I almost have 1 billion views on YouTube. Doing exceptionally well, both financially, spiritually, socially, physically, everything. How am I a meme?
Greg Doucette literally spends most of his time shitting on people that do an unimaginable amount of steroids and then die.
What I do is educate people on the dangers of using performance-enhancing drugs. I admittedly was on them at abusive doses for 10 years. Since that time, for the last 5 years, I've stopped. And so to me, that would be equivalent to saying I was, for example, 400 pounds. I was morbidly obese for 10 years. I was overeating. I was doing everything wrong. And then one day I woke up and said, this is stupid. And I stopped doing it. And so do I not have the right to speak out against people who have done the same mistakes as I have? If somebody was 400 pounds, lost half their body weight, now 200 pounds, and say, hey guys, I used to eat a lot of burgers, fries, chips, donuts, didn't do cardio, but one day I realized this is not healthy and I stopped and now I did all the healthy things, could that person not have an opinion that is valid? Because how is it any different for me?
You can be a gearhead and simultaneously shit on people who are super fat.
And so I'm a gearhead. Really? I'm on doctor-prescribed, actually an endocrinologist and estrogen hormones, 140 milligrams of testosterone. I'm not on other performance-enhancing drugs. I'm not even on peptides, growth hormones, SARMs, and so on. And so am I literally a gearhead, or was I formerly on abusive doses? It would be calling somebody who's currently 200 pounds, formerly was 400, saying they're a fat piece of shit. Really? The guy's 200 pounds, his abs used to be 400 pounds, lost 100 pounds. You're calling him fat piece of shit. That's what you're doing to me. Literally the same thing.
You got to this peak physical form and you're still going to die before the fat guy dies.
I'm 48. Am I literally going to die before the fat guy dies? I do 6 to 7 hours of cardio a week. I go to the gym 2 or 3 days. I do full body workouts. I eat exceptionally healthy. I get my blood work done regularly. And aside from getting freaking pneumonia, but I mean, I was in fact having asthma throughout my life. And if it weren't for the fact that I do so much cardio, perhaps I would be in worse shape after all.
At least they got there by eating delicious treats.
It sounds like somebody that's never turned a page in my cookbook. Literally, I'm eating protein ice cream. I just had 3 brownie cookies. I had a piece of steak. I'm at the doctor's. They test my blood sugar. It's 3.7. They say it's too low. We need to have some juice. I'm like, I don't drink sugar. They're going to give me apple juice, orange juice. I don't drink that. Say, hey, instead of that, you could have an apple, you could have an orange, you could have a banana, you could have a sandwich, you could have a different sandwich, and you could have yogurt. I said, I want all of them, and I ate all of them, and I came back and ate some more after doing cardio. So does it look like I'm suffering? Does it look like I'm not eating any delicious treats?
Be normal. It's very frustrating. And I say this as a man who struggled with weight his entire life.
And so, dude, all you have to do is get my cookbook, code Greg, 15% off, and you wouldn't have any problems. I mean, it's not really that simple. You have to actually eat 1 recipes a day on average. If you buy the book and don't actually use it ever, it's not going to help all that much. But I'm telling you, if you get the book, you're going to lose weight, probably get a girlfriend, probably have better riz with the ladies. It's going to help you in every aspect of your life.
You think fat people don't know they're fat? Of course they know they're fat, dumbass.
I don't agree with that. Eric Janicki literally looked at the guy and said, isn't this guy healthy? Doesn't he look healthy? I'm like, no, he's fat, he's obese. What are you talking about?
I've definitely felt disgusted looking at my own body and looking at other fat bodies in my life. A lot of the disgust I felt looking at people was me feeling disgusted with myself.
People are hating on me for saying that I look at 600-pound individuals with disgust, while he himself, who's far lighter than this, he himself looks at himself with disgust.
You deserve to be bullied.
He's just a bully, dude. A sad, insecure bully with perhaps the worst hairline replacement I've ever seen in my entire life.
Notice how he body shames Myron. I mean, if you're going to call him out for shaming other people and you do the exact same thing to him, what are you teaching him? I mean, are we fighting fire with fire? Are we not going to be the bigger person? If Myron is doing something wrong in calling these people out and speaking to them this way, how are you a better individual, a better person by doing the exact same thing that he's doing?
Maybe we should have bullied your barber. Maybe we should have bullied whoever gave you that goddamn hairline. Oh my Lord!
I don't even see anything wrong with his hair. Like, I literally don't. And if I did, I would speak up. I'm very honest about these things. I don't think his hair looks bad. And since when are we talking about hair when we're talking about the body? You can't really do anything about your hairline now, can you? If you have a balding gene and you're going bald and you don't have any hair, is that on you? I don't think so. But if you're 4 or 5 or 6 or 700 pounds, you can eat less. You can go for a walk.
It's ridiculous to me that we have all these fat people running around. Meanwhile, people are being bombed in Gaza.
You're fat while people are being blown up in Gaza? What does that have to do with anything, dumbass?
Dumbass. Why are you stupid? Your hairline sucks. You should be this, that. I mean, all I'm pointing out is what he's saying. If you guys want to shit on me and Myron, go ahead. But your hero that's doing this is doing the exact same thing.
The highest obesity rate per capita out of all the other OECD developed nations. Perhaps that has something to do with more than just a moral failing, as you put it.
Myron's pointing out that we live in this amazing country, yet you're still overweight, and you have every ability in this earth to lose the weight. You have access to the internet, you have access to healthy food, to gyms, you can walk outside. And so you're still choosing to be fat.
He said he's naturally skinny. You have to understand that there are people who are naturally overweight, right? Like, that's insane.
Obviously, it's easier for some people to be skinnier than others. Obviously, it's easier for some people to have greater work ethic than others. For me, I find it easier to push myself in the gym, to study harder than last time, to work harder than last time. It's inside of me. It's intrinsic. Some people, it's not as hard, but you can still choose to work harder. You can choose to put the fork down. You can choose to do better. Myron isn't fit enough for me to care about his opinion. Well, if Myron isn't fit enough to care about his opinion, what about the 4 fat guys? What about them? If you can't listen to Myron because he's not fit enough, what exactly is fit enough? As someone with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, of which I've done videos about, and I understand in detail, I've coached these ladies in the past, who physically cannot lose weight no matter what. That is a lie. Physically can't lose weight no matter what. That means that if I put them in a room and controlled everything that went in their mouth, they couldn't lose weight. It's bullshit. It's a lie. If they didn't eat enough, they would die of starvation just like everyone else. It upsets me so much how people think of being fat as a moral failing, and I'm glad you're talking about that. If you don't want to be fat, you can choose not to be fat. Being 5'6" manlet like Coach Greg is not a choice. I can't choose to be taller. I could get limb lengthening surgery, spend $120,000 and be in pain for a year in a hospital bed. That could make me taller, but I can't just want to be taller. But you can want to be skinnier even with PCOS or with an underactive thyroid or with the slowest metabolism in the world, and you can still lose weight. Yep. I have PCOS, my hormones and insulin resistance make it nearly impossible. The only way I lose weight in my life was by developing an ED. Guess what? Not healthy to have an ED either. Yeah, I guess if you develop some kind of a problem, mental health and so on, you lose weight. And I don't suggest you do that, but could have got my cookbook instead. I mean, you can choose to just eat gum or just have grapes or only eat ice cubes or any of the bullshit weight loss things that you know are bullshit and only temporary. Or you could get a diet that will work for the rest of your life, a diet that you will love, a diet that's lower in calories, that's high volume, that's high in protein, that has fiber, that's healthy, that you're going to enjoy. But why would you want to eat French toast, pancakes, ice cream, pizzas, lasagnas, wraps and so on your diet? Why would you want that when you can choose to be a freaking moron? And if you want to know more, of course, I've written a diet book. It's called the Circle Diet Book, 15% off code Greg. And if you're going to write a comment right now and say, it doesn't work, have you read the book? Have you tried it? Because if you will, if you do, it gonna work. Try it. I triple dog dare you.
People burn at their resting metabolic rate a different set of calories.
Doesn't matter.
That's true. He's absolutely right. What do you mean it doesn't matter?
The reason it doesn't matter is because no matter how slow your metabolism, if you eat less calories than that, you'll lose weight. And so myself, because I do an hour of cardio a day and have muscles and a metabolism and so on, I can eat 3,500 or 4,000 calories a day. And so if I eat 3,000 calories a day, I'm going to shrivel up. I'm going to look horrendous. I'm going to be way too skinny. Somebody else has a slower metabolism. They can only eat 2,000 calories a day. Guess what? If you eat 1,500, you lose weight. Someone else, they can only eat 1,500 calories a day. Poor them. Horrible. Guess what? They eat 1,000, they lose weight. Someone else, oh my goodness, a worst metabolism ever. 1,000 calories a day is their resting metabolic rate. It's horrendous. They're only 4'3" and 80 pounds, 1,000 calories a day. If they eat 800, they're losing weight. Do you see how it makes sense that no matter how slow your metabolism is, you can still lose weight?
How hard the task is entirely determined on the individual, their lifestyle choices, their environment.
And those lifestyle choices, like if you do cardio, do you know how many calories cardio burns? It's a lot. If you do cardio, for example, I did slow cardio because of the pneumonia and stuff. I burned 717 calories in an hour. That's 717 extra calories that I can eat. So raise your hand out there if you wish you could eat 717 extra calories a day. Do you know how much delicious food that is? It could be ice cream, it could be burgers, it could be sugar, it could be anything. But guess what? You're not doing the cardio. You're not burning the 717, and so you don't get to eat all that stuff. But oh no, you're eating it anyway and not doing the cardio, and that's why you're fat.
The idea that like, oh, it just doesn't matter, I did it, shut up, is just, you're denying an entire field of science for no particular reason.
The field of science in this is the law of thermodynamics.
Nobody escaped the laws of thermodynamics. That's why I always try to burn more than I consume.
If you're in a calorie deficit, you're losing weight. No matter what science you want to bring in, if you're in a deficit, you're losing weight. It's how it works.
What if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and your smallest compared to these other guys.
Get his ass.
So he's putting Myron down for being natural and being healthy. He's saying, oh, you're not as jacked as that Coach Greg or Eric Janicki, so you're small. And then this guy cheers for him. It's okay to punch up. Insult the healthier people. Insult the guys with more followers. But if you're obese or you're somehow lesser, oh, you can't pick on those people. You can't say anything negative about them. You can't speak the truth.
Because Jubilee wanted clicks, except he doesn't really bring the clicks. You put Jeff Nippert in there, that video gets way more clicks.
And no Jeff Nippert, who would say all the polite, nicety things and not speak out anything about anything that's not politically correct, doesn't get more views than Myron, who speaks his mind.
The idea that, like, just because someone is fat, that must mean they're lazy is insane.
How is it insane? If you're obese, it means you're not burning as many calories as you're consuming. And so if you weren't lazy, you could literally burn off those calories. You could go to the gym, you could walk it off. And so how are you not lazy? I don't understand. What is the definition of lazy? Are we maybe not on the same page? If you're disciplined, dedicated, not lazy, you could literally walk for 2, 3, 4, 17 hours a day and lose the weight.
You know how many fat people exist in America that work like 3 goddamn jobs?
They have time not to eat, though. They have time to put the fork down. Okay. And so, yeah, I get it. Laziness comes in different departments. You can be lazy physically, but not be lazy mentally, intellectually. You could perhaps be working a 15-hour job. You're not lazy. You're working for 15 hours. You're writing on the computer. You're typing. You're playing games. You're making money as a gamer, doing all this stuff. You're not lazy in that way, but you're lazy physically. So you're lazy in the physical department. And so perhaps you have to be more specific and say you're lazy, physically lazy. Also, you're not putting the fork down. So whether it's laziness or lack of dedication or effort, you're choosing to be overweight.
So obviously, especially if a dude is like this level, like these two douches, well, not this guy is kind of a king, but Greg Douche.
These two douches, well, not this one, but this one. Why? Because my name is Greg Doucette, and if you put it in a computer and you auto-correct it, it says douche. Like, why? Because I actually have an opinion and I'm honest and I'm being my authentic self and I'm not just telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. That makes me a bad person. I'm literally on a show and being asked to be honest and give you my honest opinion. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And so that makes me a bad person. Well, so be it.
Is because I know how hard that is to maintain. Okay? That doesn't come easy, especially at Greg's old age. Oh my God. That shit's not easy at all.
Well, how do you think that is? It's because I'm not lazy. It's because I'm dedicated. I put in the work. If I didn't do cardio and ate pizza and ice cream and potato chips all the time, I would be overweight. My parents, my mom and dad, are both obese. My mom especially in particular, very much overweight. And are they walking? Yeah, they go for walks, but they're clearly not putting the fork down. My genetics are not to be shredded. I have asthma. I was a sickly child, but I chose to do something about it. I trained harder than last time. I did 20 hours of cardio a week when I was younger to do triathlons. I studied my ass off in university, got my master's degree at the highest average. I continue to study very hard. I apply myself. And so when I hear all these people who are lazy and not working hard and playing video games all day, eating potato chips and saying, oh, it's my genetics, I'm like, really? Are you trying? If you try half as much as I do, you're not being overweight. And if I trade bodies with you, in 2 years from time, you are skinny and I am fat. That is a fact.
People like him, so unimaginably insecure that they have basically created a persona.
You have to understand, we all view the world through different lenses. And so just because he says these things, it doesn't mean that he's insecure. Andrew Tate says something, it doesn't mean insecure. It just means that he's honest with himself and shares his opinions with you. You can believe it, you can disagree with it, but that is okay.
I don't have to constantly be like, yeah, I'm such an alpha male. I'm such a tough guy. It's okay to be vulnerable from time to time.
And so he says he's very confident that he can be himself, and so can I. I'm confident enough that I can say something. For example, I feel disgust when looking at people 600 pounds, knowing that you're going to hate me, and yet I still say it. You have to be very confident in saying that. I can say a man is good looking. I can say this guy's attractive. I can talk about how I feel. I can be very emotional. I can express my feelings. I wear my heart on my sleeve. That is true confidence.
Jacked men are more attractive than fat men is such a funny question. Beauty is a subjective concept.
Yeah, beauty is a subjective concept, and subjectively, jacked men are more attractive than fat men. It's in our biology, it's in our human nature. You can't sit there and convince me that somebody who is 500 pounds and unhealthy is more attractive than somebody who is 200 pounds and healthy. It's not how it works.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, yeah, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that, but...
Why the extreme? It's like, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that only 1% of people are choosing fat, obese, over lean, healthy, muscular, athletic. Fit versus fat. Fit is more attractive than fat. Healthy is more attractive than unhealthy. Tall is more attractive than short. Oh, that's not true because I know some girl that's 4'10" and she gets all the boys. That's not true because Tom Cruise is short and he can get girls. Just because you have one example out of 100 doesn't mean that that's fact.
Because unfortunately, a popular influencer, no, he's not. Greg Douchebag is infinitely more popular than Fresh and Fat.
Greg Douchebag. Like, why the hate? Like, really? Like, is my content really that bad? I mean, I'm at the Arnold's, I'm at the Mr. Olympia meeting thousands of fans, and in my lifetime, I've met 4 people that have said something negative to my face. And so my impression of the world is that people love Coach Greg. There's a few haters, 1%, whatever, but the majority of people who watch my videos understand that I'm overall very, very positive.
He said, Greg, you're a manlet. What does Greg have to say about that? Women actually love my repulsive personality and also my 5'5" stature.
5'6" stature. 5'6". And yes, women do in fact enjoy Coach Greg's personality. It's not that bad. I don't know why you think these things. I don't know why people have this misinterpretation of Coach Greg. Where does it come from? I don't get it.
Women are massive fans of a guy who talks like Gilbert Godfrey, who has varicose veins on his forehead.
Varicose veins on my forehead. I mean, I am very lean. I have somewhat vascularity because there's not a lot of body fat covering me, but I don't think I have varicose veins all over myself.
Is being jacked the most important trait for being attractive?
The fact that not a single person is talking about your personality and like how you carry yourself is insane to me.
Confidence, extremely important, but if you're a 2 and you're extremely confident, you're not getting a 10. You're not. If you're a 9 and you're very confident, maybe you're getting a 10. But you need to be attractive at the baseline. Your woman needs to have genuine desire for you in order to get them to want you. You can't just confidence your way into making a woman fall in love with you if you're not attractive to them.
Blows my mind that this is not something that anyone on this discussion has brought up so far. It is dating app brain.
Yeah, good luck being 5'4" and making 50 grand a year and trying to get an 8 or a 9. You're 5'4", you're 100 pounds overweight, and you're broke. You really think that all the confidence in the world is going to land you an 8? Nope. But if you're a multi-millionaire, short, not even very confident, way more lucky with the ladies. I don't make the rules.
The idea that attraction is not subjective at all, and there are certain hardwired qualities that women look for, it's just objectively false.
Arguing with a 4-year-old, 4 plus 4 equals 8. No, it's 4. How are you supposed to argue with this? There are hardwired traits that women look for. For example, size, being bigger than them. Women are not generally attracted to people who are 3'4". There's some that like it, but not many. Women like men with money. They like security. They like to feel safe. They like symmetry in a person. For example, if one side of your face is like this and the other side's like that, it's not as attractive. And so if you walk out to a woman with lots of confidence and say, hey, baby, I'm very confident. You're not getting laid. I don't make the rules. It's hardwired. This is what they look for. It's genetic. They're looking for a mate that's going to be the father of the children, is going to give the best genes for their survival. It's how life works.
While I am seen as an attractive person by Western standards, I go to Japan right now, I'm not seen as hot.
I bet more Japanese women find him attractive at 6'4" with his facial hair than if he was 4'4" and 500 pounds. Yes, no? Do you agree? And so, of course, if you're interested in Seacro protein bars or Turk Builder or GO2 Max, these things can help you to get in better shape. If you're in better shape, you're going to be more attractive to the opposite sex. It's hardwired. He's going to disagree. He's going to say, no, 500 pounds, 4'2", 6'8", doesn't matter. Every girl likes the same thing. It depends on the country you live in. If you're in Japan, you can be this. If you're in this country, bullshit. There's certain hardwired traits and they want you to be fit. The fitter you are, the better you're going to do with the ladies. And so if you're interested in Harder Than Last Time supplements, you can use code Greg for 15% off. Click the link in the description. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it and watch one of the bloops. Obviously, if you want coaching plans by me and my team, or if you have no money, you can get the free coaching plans. It's on the website. Head over there right now. Become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.